Hi, I'm Yuna, and this is Zelda. You may have seen her in previous videos of mine. She's a Fairyland minifee, Phoeb elf in a UFDoll 1/4 girl body. She's looking very nice, I like her a lot, but I want to do a little something, so today we're doing eye surgery on her. First things first, I will not be removing her face up, only her eyelashes so that I can mod her. So this is something I've done in the past with my Lyria, and sadly I didn't record it. I thought I did, but I lost all the footage. So we're going to be doing it today, and I'll show you the whole process all the way from the start to the end. So I'm starting out by removing her eyes. In that cup, it's warm water. I'm going to be using that to remove her eyelashes. So here's how she looks right now. I'm not going to be touching this area of hers, or this, nor these ones. Basically my idea is just to make her eyes a little more open on the top. So that's the goal for today. I am analyzing now her face up so that I know what I want to keep, what I am going to have to redo. I'm going to be removing her eyelashes with the warm water. Basically just leave it for a few minutes and then you can pull them out. I'm doing it with my hands, but you can use tweezers too if you feel more comfortable that way. I like doing it with my hands because I can feel how well the glue is coming off. You may notice as I remove this one that it came out with one piece left, and when I pull that out, it's going to remove a little bit of the gloss on her face up, which is going to take away a slight layer of it. I don't know if you can see it yet, but I will have to repair that as well, but I will show you how I do it as well. So now here's how she looks without her face up. I'm going to remove a bit of glue here with my X-Acto knife. And this is how she looks. I don't know if you can see yet the part that got removed. It's slightly white. But now I'm going to be analyzing her face up again without the eyelashes. I'm going to be making a plan based on what I want to keep and how much I want to remove. And now I'm drying off her face because I just feel more comfortable if she's not wet. So with watercolor pencils, I'm going to mark how much I want to remove. This time, we're going to be doing a very subtle mod. It's only so that her eyes are a little more open. With Lyria, I did it much bigger, but sadly, like I said, I don't have the footage of that. But the process is the same, so it's fine. So I marked it. I don't know if you can see very well, but I marked it in pencil, and now I'm going to start cutting. I just use this X-Acto knife and go straight at it because I'm gonna have to fix her face up again later no matter what I do. So that's just how it works. Basically what I'm going to be doing is I'll remove material from her eyes, just like I did in my other video with Link, which is my look back Shiwu elf. And because she has a face up that I love and that I don't want to remove, I'm going to patch it up after. So this is why it's important to analyze the face up, because that taught me, for example, that in this case I'm going to need the black wash for her eyeliner, but also some of my metallic golden watercolors. With Lyria, I had to put a little bit of purple mica powder on her eyeshadow as well. So it's just make sure you know how the face up looks so you can reconstruct it accurately. I think in this part you can see better how there's a little bit of white in the eye. So as I do this, I always put the eye in again to check how my progress is going. I don't like just going in blind the whole process. I like making sure that I like the direction it's going and how much I still need to go. And also I'm comparing her to my Shiwu elf, which as I said is Link, because they're going together, so I want to make sure they have a similar aesthetic for their eyes. And here you can see better the white where the face up got partially removed. I try to go very slowly, very carefully. You don't need to rush this. It's important to go slowly because you can always remove a little more if you need to, but if you have to put more in, then you're gonna have to do a resin match after, and that's just a lot more trouble. It's something that I personally don't like to do. Checking again for how it's looking, and this is a much better expression for her, for what I wanted. So now I'm just going to clean up the edges a little bit before I move on to the next eye. You can see the white in both the area that had the face up removed while removing the eyelashes, and also where I'm going to be fixing it. And now we're moving on to the other eye. The process is obviously the same. Make sure you didn't lose the watercolor markings where you need to mod. If it got wiped out, then you have to redo it first, because it's important to keep everything symmetric. this point I'm going to put on both of her eyes in, because I want to make sure that they look the same. You get to watch me struggle with that because I am terrible at putting eyes in. I'm just holding them in place. I didn't put in the putty yet because I might need to do more of the modding first. But I just position them so I can get an idea of how similar they look if they are symmetric. And I'm pretty happy with it. I think she looks nice. I think it's more of an expression that I wanted for her, because I really like the sculpt, but she has very closed eyes, so it's kind of like a sleepy expression, and I wanted her more awake. I wanted her more innocent, so I wanted to open them a little bit, but not too much because I didn't want it to be cartoony. And now we're going to be fixing up her face up. There's no need to seal her now because she already has a face up, so she's already sealed. And I personally don't really care much for sealing just the parts that I'm going to be working on right now. But you can do that if you want to be extra sure that you're not going to get any staining. You can seal, covering everything that's not going to be touched. And then you can move on to painting. I'm just impatient. So I prepare some watercolor and I'm going to be getting out a frame. When will I get back in frame? With this first part, what I'm doing is I'm filling in, okay, there we go. I'm filling in the area that got damaged. So I'm using a peach to cover her waterline. And I used a little bit of red to try to get a closer color to what I had, but I also wiped that. So it's not very red, it's just like a little bit of a hint of it. And because they look a little different now between the two sides, I'm going to apply a little bit of it to the other side as well, so they are more, I'm gonna say symmetric again, that's just how it is. Now we're going to be using the metallic watercolors. I'm going to need some of the golden one. There's two of them, but I'm going with the lighter for her lower liner. And I will also use it on her upper liner after I finish the black part with it. But for now, we're just patching up what I messed up when I was removing the eyelashes. Because I don't work with very wet watercolors, they dry fairly quickly. But if you need more time, then wait it out. It's important that one color is dry before you apply another one, or they'll mix together and you get a mess. I use very thin brushes, and now we'll be using black gouache. I prefer gouache for the eyeliner instead of watercolor because it's more opaque. So for lines, I have black, white, I think brown, and a golden or kind of yellowish brown for blonde lines. and everything else I use watercolors for. Because I managed to keep most of the eyeliner intact, I'm going to be filling in the inside, but the outside is not as much, it's not as damaged as much. If you do damage the outer line, make sure the brush is very, very thin. It's the same process as if you were doing a new face up, basically. So keep the watercolors thin as well so they flow well. If you want to use flow weight, that's also valid. Right now I'm filling the inside of the eye, which is going to be covered with the eyelashes again, but I like making sure it's black because if there's any bit showing through, it's not going to be the resin color shown. I use the top part of the brush to do the outer side of the eyeliner, and basically I hold it within the eye and just use that part to contour the outer side so it's as close as possible to the eye. And now we're going to be doing it on the other side. I am sorry that it's not very easy to see because I just don't have the practice for filming while I do stuff. I am trying to get better at that. As you can see, I get out of frame every now and then. And you can see I am comparing them so I know how well I did, basically. And once I'm satisfied with... oh, there's a little bit of dirt. Once I'm satisfied with the black eyeliner, I'm going to do a little extra golden at the top. I'm not touching her lower lashes, but there is a hint of missing on the winged eyeliner as well that I want to fix later. But first, I'm going to do in the golden eyeliner. For this one, I'll use the darker one. And I'll just do the top layer, the top of her eye. Always make sure you compare both sides. We're going to be filling in a little bit of the eyeliner. Also, I apologize if I'm being repetitive. I don't have a script for this video. Now we're checking again for the aesthetic, just in case I need to adjust anything before I make any further adjustments on the face up. And I'm satisfied, so I'm going to be moving forward with it. Always keep your brushes clean, especially if you're going to be changing colors. Make sure there's nothing coming out of it before you grab the next one. And we're just going to add a line of gold on top of the eyeliner, like slightly above it, not completely on top. I'm not covering it, but I am going to use it kind of like a bit of eyeshadow. Do it on both eyes, and in a moment I'm going to notice that I did one eye a little bit bigger than the other, so I'm going to fix that. This is why it's important to go slowly. You don't have to rush anything, just keep checking your work, and it turns out fine in the end. You can see here I hadn't noticed yet that I needed to adjust something, so I just wiped the brush. But I will notice very soon. Here you can see I noticed it now. Oh, basically what happened here is I did one of the golden eyeliners going all the way into the wing on one side and not on the other. So we're going to fix that. I'll compare again. I am much happier now. So right about now I am deciding that we're good, so it's time to seal her. I'm going to be using MTN acrylic varnish. Now you want to make sure you have protection for this. You want to spray it in an open area, so I'm going to be taking her away with me. And you want to use a respirator. I'll show you mine as soon as I come back with her. But first, because I don't want to take away her gloss or seal anything that doesn't need to be sealed, I'm using toilet paper to cover her face. I could cover her eyebrows and her forehead as well, but I think that's not necessary because it's very close, so it would be a very easy to cover something that I don't want to. So here's me showing her again. Basically, you want to cover anything that's glossed because the sealant will take that away and it may react with it, so it's important not to use sealant on anything that's already been glossed. Here is my respirator. This is what I use every time I'm working with sealants, with 3D printing resin, with UV resin, anything that has fumes coming from it. It's important to protect your lungs. So she's already sealed. I'm going to wait for her to dry completely. I sealed her twice. And now I'm just going to glue her eyelashes back in. I use white glue. It's like, what do you guys call it in English? Like Elmer's glue, that's fine. And I use a pin and a pair of tweezers to put on the eyelashes back in. So grab the pin, grab a little bit of the glue, apply it to the area where you want the lashes. I like using a not too thick layer, but still not too little bit, because you want to make sure it's going to stick. And you can put a little more after you apply the lashes as well. So here I am putting the lashes in. These ones were already the ones she was using before, so they're already the right size. But if you need to cut them, that's when you would do that before you apply the glue. especially when you use watercolor and gouache. You want to make sure you've sealed it before you do this step, because the glue can and possibly will remove your eyeliner or whatever you use the gouache on, because it's water-based. So make sure you've sealed it well so that it doesn't interfere with that. And now she's all good to go. We can just wait until the glue dries. It's going to be a while. I will not wait with you guys. I will let you skip that part. I am adjusting her position of her eyelashes a little bit. And she's mostly ready. I'll put in her eyes only after the glue is dry. And here she is with the eyes on much later during the day. You can probably see a small difference in how her eye shape turned out, but it's very subtle compared to what I did with Lyria, so I'm really sad that I didn't get to record that one, or rather I did but lost the footage. Here's how she looks next to Ling. If you want to see his video as well on modding his eyes, I did that on my channel as well. And here's how she looks complete. Personally, I'm a fan. So if you watched this far, thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed the video. And don't mind my messy work area. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.